For the research data column, this is where you will paste your summary or any factual information that you want it to consider when you're generating the outline or the introduction or the first draft. Again, this is depending on your topic, but something very simple that I like to do is take the main keyword or the query and use Perplexity. And this is going to grab a summary of the SERP. This is actually a preview of what the research data field is going to be able to do. So this is the aim, that we'll be able to scrape the SERP API and generate our own research data in a similar way that Perplexity works. So you can choose view detailed. You will have these brackets, which are sources that you'll want to remove. I'm going to keep it concise so I don't have to remove too much of those in this preview. But another tip is to just paste it into ChatGPT and tell it to remove those, and it will do that. If you don't remove those brackets, they'll show up in your first draft for sure. They always show up. Yeah, so we remove those. And again, take the query. And it shows you what the sources are. So you can see it's got Forbes, com, ItPro. These are just the articles that have already touched on something in the vicinity of the query. So again, we're just going to take the concise view, but you can go to view detailed and get a lot more information. And we need to take the brackets out. And this is going to significantly improve the quality of your output, because if you look at the prompt, or if you write your prompt, the basic prompts are not like this. These are my edited prompts, but once you get the plugin, there is a page called Prompt Helper. So the Prompt Helper will have all of my prompts when I'm messing around and coming up with ideas. I add those to the Prompt Helper, so there'll be individual prompts for introduction, for outline, first draft, and so on. As we improve the plugin, I'll just keep adding the prompts, and all the customizations, they'll all be in the back end. So they're not, the default prompts do not look like the ones I'm using here. So that is a disclaimer. Your generations may not look like mine until you go into Prompt Helper and you copy one of the prompts and modify one of the prompts that I've written. So again, this is the same with the first draft. This is a very long prompt. This is not the default one. But it says here you've got the variable research data. So I've told it to, of course, look at the blog title, the main keyword, and to look at the research data and include the secondary keywords throughout the post. And if your secondary keywords are data-driven keywords, this is good for SEO, of course. So now I've added the research data, I'm going to save these so it registers. And I'm going to generate my articles again. If we go to view post, we'll see the preview of what it's given us. And it's got the featured image. It's injected the introduction here. And then we've got H2s. It hasn't bolded keywords, which I usually like it to do. It's restated the question. But we do have by doing so. So we need to clean that up a bit. And we can do that by messing around with the prompt a bit more or upping the presence penalty and the frequency penalty, things like that. I'm looking for more sentences that start with by. Looks like it's done a decent job, and I can't see that many by, where usually you can see that when it's a basic prompt. Looking at the headings as well, I think the headings are quite good. So yeah, this is a first draft. So this is what you would get with GPT-4, and then you'd need to go in and edit it. I see another by. So let's go back and let's get it to generate again. Until the next update, everything on the sheet, it's going to, once we click generate column, even if you only have one selected, it's going to generate the entire column. So if you have an output that you like, in this case, this output is not bad, I'm going to publish it. And that will remove it from the sheet. But generally, you only want to put on the amount that you're doing. If you're going to publish 10 articles, just add 10 rows, don't add 100, because it's going to try and generate the entire column. So we've got one here now, and we've got our research data, and we want it to include this when it makes the first draft. I could probably shorten this prompt, and I'm going to tell it to... I'm not going to tell it how long it should be. So now that it's generating, it's going to consider the outline and the research data, as well as the main keyword and the secondary keywords. It may take a while to do, so I'm going to pause it and come back. So it's still spinning, but I have a suspicion that it has completed the article. So again, we can just open this without interrupting anything, as long as we jump in when the spinning thing is not crossing the button. Did I do it? Okay. Yeah, it looks done. Looks done. Okay, yeah, that's a much better article. Just looking at the length of it and the words, I can see it's taken into consideration the research data. So these are some of the things that it will be talking about in this article entitled, "Could AI Take Over the World?" Again, does need editing, but this is a first draft. This is what the first draft is supposed to do. It's supposed to take your ideas, your research, your outline, and create a first draft that you then go in and enrich and ameliorate. That's the whole idea. How many words is this article? 1,600 words, so that's not bad. This is GPT-4. I'm going to publish this. And this is the Bulk Publishing AI site, so you can go and check these out. I've not edited. What you see is what you get. I may go back and edit these. I'm not really trying to rank for anything. This is just to demonstrate what it's capable of. But I would, of course, space things out. Basic things that I've mentioned in my... What is this? This is like a H3. Yeah, these would be H2s. Basic things, formatting things I've mentioned in my free checklist, which is available on Bulk Publishing AI for free, because it's a free checklist. So there are things that you would do to this. You wouldn't just leave it as it is. But for now, I'm going to publish this. You can publish this on the front end as well as from the sheet. If you're already in there and you want to select your category, it's all going there. So publish. Featured images there, and it all shows up. Lovely. Yeah, you can get the checklist here and on the front page. But yeah, that's it. That's GPT-4's output.